Hi, Ted here. It's the 19th of October 2023. So while I've been waiting for this bowl here, I'll show it to you in a second, to kind of cure out a little bit, I decided I need to find something else to do. I don't want to make a lot of sawdust, so I went ahead and got a hold, got on my 18-inch jet drum sander and readjusted it. And I've also been working on a bunch of wood. So I've got these three bowls over here, and then I came across this guy today, which I received, or at least was mailed on the 19th of October 2019 by Something Awesome out of Brandon, Oregon. And I thought what I ought to do is open it up and see what it is, because, yeah, well, I forgot. I mean, totally forgot. And now I can see it. It's a big piece of Burl. And it's going to be fun to unwrap. I can see that. I have to relieve it in a few places, I guess. I might even have to turn the camera off and finish this. I don't look so incompetent. But, like I say, it's a big chunk of wood. And how big is it, you say? Well, let's find out. Because it is large. Put that over there and let the wrapper go to the floor. I think it's got a gnarly looking back to it. But look at that. Whoa, that is something. Really, really something. I'm going to have to do a Phil Anderson, I think. Do this justice. Because it is 18 inches, 16 inches this way, 16 inches that way, and if you go across it, it's about 14 inches. And it's a fairly shallow. In the middle there, it's not very deep at all. I think at the most it's going to be maybe, looks like you get maybe 1.5 inches out of it. So I got to be creative with this thing to figure out how I'm going to turn it. And it might end up that this be the bottom and this be the top. And I think that's probably what I'm going to have to do to get some height around the edges of it. So this will be an upcoming video. I might even do it when I get done with the bowl I have on the record power now. But because of the size, it can't fit on the record power, which means, of course, it's going to have to go on the Shopsmith. And I'm kind of looking forward to doing that. So, to be continued. Hi, Ted here. Just take a little brief moment here to show you something new that I've developed. Basically, this only is good for Shopsmith owners. As you can see, I've got mine in the lathe position, or in the, the drill press configuration. And what I like to do is be able to clamp things down. Now, I made the clamp some time ago that goes onto the track, or the rails of the Shopsmith, that basically holds down really nice. But what if you're on the drill press and you want to hold something down that's smaller? Now, ROCKLER comes out with these things, and they're nice. They go in T-slots. But I need something that fits into the T-slots on the saw table, drill press table of the Shopsmith. Now, here's the problem. Shopsmith is somewhat parochial. So they come out with this thing, and as you can see, it is a T-slot, but it is really, really wide. It's wider than a typical, not only on the bottom, but on the top as well. So what I had to do was take one of these standard pieces, and I took it to the vise and I filed it down, and I'm using an 8mm bolt because of course it's got to be metric, and I do like metric, to be honest with you. And I'm going to show you how it works. Go set up. So okay, here's the Shopsmith, and these fit in here really nice, and they're good for a lot of different things, and I've used them. I used it to be able to take my sled and keep it from coming up or down when I'm going to the end. It holds it in place. That's another video you can look at. But like I say, these things are too wide and they just don't go in. But if you want to file off about 2 to 3 millimeters on either end of it, on the sides, it goes in very nicely. And you can use it using a 13mm wrench. I gotta find another way to do this, but right now it's just a 13mm wrench, and I can tighten it down. Now you see it's not over the hole, but I can get it over the hole because I got a lot of range here if I need it. Let's do that just for a second. Let's get it out here where it would be holding down on this end, and then you can put another one on the other end and hold down whatever you want. Now, the nice thing about these ROCKLER hold downs is you can just put another board underneath this end or this end, and get more elevation. And it's firm. It isn't going anywhere. So that's just another thought if you own a Shopsmith on how we can do this. And now back to the main menu. So okay, this is this 18-inch diameter piece of maple burl, and I'm going to use the Shopsmith. I got it set up in the drill press configuration. I think you can see, whoa, bang, I've got the clamps that I designed on it, and it takes a little time to set it up, but it seems to work okay. It holds it secure. What I'm doing is I'm taking a Forstner bit and I'm going down about 1 inch. I just want to make sure it doesn't move. This table is locked down, this is set, and I don't want to lose the configuration. So then what I got to do, of course, is release these. I have a block of wood between them. I got to find some bolts that have more thread on them because I'm really limited to less than 1/2 inch of motion with these things. I hope I'm not in your way. Get these up. I've got to, like I said, put a second piece of wood in here. I got to be careful when I do this not to knock anything loose. There we go. We'll get that piece of wood out. I can raise this up, get it out of the way. It's not totally tight. Loosen these up. Just enough to move them again. Get rid of all this debris up here so we can see what we're doing. it this way too, obviously, so this might be the angle of attack I need. Get these clamps back on. Hold the table in place. The board on the table, I should say. Bring this back over. Get my block of wood back under it if I can. Gotta raise it up. Get it down. I don't think that's as secure as I want. So see if I can move this down here some more, then tighten it. I'm not sure I like it, but let's see what happens here. Here's where I gotta be careful, because this is actually going to be, so this may require a glove and a firm hand instead for this side, and just go slow. Okay, so that's what it takes. About a minute for each one. I've got several of them to do. I think you see how it's going to work out, so I'm pretty pleased with my devices. I think they'll work great. Back in a little bit. Okay, so many holes later. And I've got this. So now all I got to do is chisel this center part out and install a faceplate. We'll use the cast iron. I think that's plenty good. The screws can't be real long, but there'll be plenty of them. And what I may use is 1/4 inch lags, just short ones, but lags, and that's a lot stronger. So we'll go from there. Okay, I used the chisel and I got it down. Then I used the 40 grit sandpaper on the angle drill. And I'm putting in McFeely's 1 1/8 inch. I'm 1 5/8 inch thick right here. So that leaves me, if I go down almost an inch, I still have over 5/8 of an inch to play with down here, so I'm going to be happy with it. It's really flat. I'm sure it'll hold it. As you can see, it's not balanced. It's really heavy on this side here. So, won't put it on the lathe today, but that will be the next step. Okay, I used the chisel and I got it down. Then I used the 40 grit sandpaper on the angle drill. And I'm putting in McFeely's 1 1/8 inch. I'm 1 5/8 inch thick right here. So that leaves me, if I go down almost an inch, I still have over 5/8 of an inch to play with down here. So I'm going to be happy with it. It's really flat. I'm sure it'll hold it. As you can see, it's not balanced. It's really heavy on this side here. So won't put it on the lathe today, but that will be the next step. Okay, I used the chisel and I got it down. Then I used the 40 grit sandpaper on the angle drill. And I'm putting in McFeely's 1 1/8 inch. I'm 1 5/8 inch thick right here. So that leaves me, if I go down almost an inch, I still have over 5/8 of an inch to play with down here. So I'm going to be happy with it. It's really flat. I'm sure it'll hold it. As you can see, it's not balanced. It's really heavy on this side here. So won't put it on the lathe today, but that will be the next step. Okay, I used the chisel and I got it down. Then I used the 40 grit sandpaper on the angle drill. And I'm putting in McFeely's 1 1/8 inch. I'm 1 5/8 inch thick right here. So that leaves me, if I go down almost an inch, I still have over 5/8 of an inch to play with down here. So I'm going to be happy with it. It's really flat. I'm sure it'll hold it. As you can see, it's not balanced. It's really heavy on this side here. Okay, it's all set up in the lathe configuration, but unfortunately it's a little bit too big. So I've got to trim this corner and this corner off a little bit. And it's going to be a full 18 inches. A little bit less when I trim it. Just looking down, a lot of this is going to come off here. And a whole lot of this is going to come off here, which will bring it in even further. And it's quite out of balance. Minimum speed is 200 RPM. We'll see what we can get, and we'll just go from there. Okay, I'm going to start out at about 250 RPM. That's as slow as this goes. Got a 5/8 inch bowl gouge, and we'll just start taking off this high point right there. It just barely fits. Okay, this can be fun. I may try a different tool and see what it can do, because this is really being kind of nasty. I may sharpen that again. Maybe it's just not sharp enough, because it's really having a tough time with this. I can move it in a little bit more. But it's only like 1/8 of an inch off, so we'll see. More later. Okay, so I've been working with this today. I've got it turned down. I've got it to the point that I just got a little bit of area here I want to turn, and I'm going to put in a 130 millimeter recess in it, because I want this to be the edge of it to sit. I'll turn this down so it's just barely underneath this. That'll give me a good base. If you take a look at the point down here, I've only lost maybe 1/4 of an inch on that point, but I lost quite a bit going around the other part of it. So face mask and shield on, and I'm running at about